Imagine all the people that you know as these 4 different colors: red, yellow, green, and blue. Now, this is the exact theory behind the DISA personality model, which was first outlined by Thomas Eriksson, Swedish behavioral expert, which basically talks about how people react to stress and change. Now, today we're going to talk about how to read people better using DISA personality model. Now, what does DISA in DISA stand for? D stands for dominance, I stands for influence, S stands for steadiness, and A stands for analysis. What is all of this? Well, how does this all correlate to how can we read people better? DISA is where there are these 4 types of people amongst all of us. D is for red, I is for yellow, S is for green, A is for blue. Now let's talk about the 4 personalities. Now just remember, when I'm talking about these 4 different personality types, I want you to focus on which color you think you are, and I also want you to assign this color to one person in your life, any one person that you think matches this personality type. Reds. Reds are the dominant type, bold, decisive, and goal-focused. Think about a red racing fast car, direct, fast, and built to win. The second is the yellow personality, the influencers, not like the social media influencers, but the influencer who is outgoing, full of energy, and like the sun, they light up any room that they walk into. The third is the green personality, the steady type, calm, loyal, and dependable. Like a tree, they are stable, grounded, and supportive. The 4th personality type is the blue, the analytical types. They're very precise, thoughtful, and detail-driven. Think about a microscope. They're focused on accuracy and facts. A fun example that I can give you for all of these 4 different personality types is, let's say if there's a group of 4 friends of each of these color, red, green, blue, and yellow, and they have to plan a party, a birthday party. Now the red is going to be like, let's get the birthday party done tomorrow. Let's invite everyone that we know, and let's send a group invite to everyone so that everything is efficient and quick. The green is going to be like, wait. We want everyone to feel welcome and wanted at the party. Let's call each of the guests individually and make sure that they feel welcome and wanted at the party. The yellow is going to be like, what's the fun party playlist going to sound like? Let me curate that. Who all are we going to invite? And the blue is going to be like, the fun is not going to pay for the party. Let's first sit down with a budget, and how can we allocate the budget to different tasks? The blue is the person who's the most sensitive to structure, detail, and accuracy. By the way, when I was struggling in my own closest relationships, I wish somebody gave me what I'm about to show you. I created India's first conflict resolution card game called Let's Fix It. It is a conversational tool that you can use to solve fights and conflicts with your loved ones. Relationships are like puzzles, and each fight reveals a missing piece. And most people avoid fights thinking that fights are going to damage relationships, when in reality, fights don't damage relationships. A lack of repair damages relationships. And Let's Fix It is your repair tool. It helps you create stronger bonds. It helps you solve fights and build stronger emotional bonds, and to make your relationships bulletproof. Now, Let's Fix It is available at beingbeyond.in and on Amazon. Now back to the video. Now I'll give you a very quick way to remember the 4 different personality types whenever you come across them. This is the rule of 4 C's. Reds are motivated by control. Yellows are motivated by connection. Greens are motivated by comfort. And blues are motivated by clarity. Now, a really important way to understand these 4 personalities is to divide their personalities across the X and the Y axis. People can either be task-oriented or relation-oriented. They can be active or passive. The personality types which are task-oriented are reds and blues. They care more about the task than they do about the relationship. Now, the personality types that are more relation-oriented, that care more about the relationship rather than the tasks, are yellows and greens. Now on the x-axis is we have the active personalities and the passive personalities. So active personalities are the more extroverted people, are the more proactive personalities. So the reds and yellows are the active personalities. On the other end of the spectrum is the passive personality, which are the blues and the greens. They are more reserved, they are more introverted. Now a very important distinction to make here is to understand that being introverted is not a bad thing. It's a very common misconception that introverted people are shy or they don't like interacting with people. That's not really true. Now, a very interesting analogy that I heard Sinek give in one of his talks was the idea of coins.
An introvert loses energy from social interaction, an extrovert gains energy from social interaction. So an introvert wakes up in the morning with 5 coins. Every social interaction, they spend a coin. At the end, they are depleted. An extrovert wakes up with no coins. Every social interaction, they get a coin, and by the end, they feel rich. Like going to a party, they gives them energy, versus going to a party sucks your energy.
So this is very important to clarify that being introverted is not a bad thing. Personality traits are not good or bad. They have their own set of advantages and they have their own set of disadvantages under different situations. Now, why did we understand DISA personality model? How does DISA help you in everyday life? Well, what happens is if, let's say, you're a green. I'm green, by the way. If you're somebody who's a green and you're interacting with a red, you know that a red is more interested in results, is more direct. So in case if you're a green who's in conflict with a red, you know this is their behavioral style, this is their communication style, where they're going to focus more on directness, where they're going to be more no BS, where they're going to be more goal focused. So if you're in a conflict with a red as a green, you know that in order to make the red listen to you or try to even solve that conflict, you have to get to the point. And when you see a red being aggressive, you know that it's not personal. It's just how they are. And likewise, you can apply this to all of these 4 different personality colors, all of these 4 different personalities that you interact with on an everyday basis. Now you might be thinking, what is the difference between D and I? Like dominance and influence sound like the same thing. Well, the main difference in dominance and influence is that in dominance, if I'm a person who's dominant and I want you to do something, right, I'm gonna make sure that you do it, irrespective of the fact if you like it or not. That's dominance. Influence, on the other hand, is if I am a person who's high on influence, right? If I'm a yellow and if I want you to do something, I'm gonna make sure that I convince you of the fact that this is a good thing to do, that this is the right way to do it, and I'm going to make you do it like that. So this is the main difference between dominance and influence. This is a very vast topic. I'm probably going to come out with another video on this topic, but for now, I hope this helps and I'll see you in the next video.